So I have a little story to tell. A little over a year ago, we saw the release of Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. The highlight of this remake was the bonus content of Magolor's Epilogue. Now I had every intention of making my own figure of Magolor in a very timely manner. That was until this happened. Yeah, lots of mistakes were made, but that was then. Now I'm back for redemption. So join me on my creative process on how I finally made Magolor. Despite this major fail of a project, I still like the size of this sculpt. The main body will be mainly built using Epoxy Sculpt that I've already mixed. Here it is all dried in an egg-like shape. With some leftover, I made 2 rounded cones for the ears. After drilling a hole on the bottom, I can begin sculpting out the details using good old Cosclay. The head came out a bit flat, so I'll be bulking this out first. My mistake when doing this the first time was using a wooden ball to build upon. This epoxy clay is more dense and fuses better with Cosclay. Now I can add on the ears. With this tiny strip that I rolled out and a round cutter, I can easily carve out a row of half circles along one side. Then it's a quick trim, and I'll have a nice little distress detail for one of his ears. Applying a flat layer on top for the hood. This will also double as a guide when I add his eyes. My original idea was to make a sad looking Magolor, much like how he looked in the beginning of his epilogue. I've now changed it to him having a more serious and determined expression, much like how I'm determined to do Magolor justice with this project. Nothing says mysterious traveler more than a big cowl or scarf that covers half of your face.
A very excellent fashion choice in my opinion.
Then it's just simply trimming it down to size and creating some subtle fold details. Applying his little scarf on top. Looking pretty good so far. It's time to make the rest of his clothes. I rolled out a much wider sheet of Cosclay, and then it's trimming it to size. I'm using a dull blade to distress the bottom edge of his cape, adding some more rips and tears along the middle. After adding on the cape, I'm adjusting it some more since the distressing was looking too uniformed. The main body is complete. Moving on to the easiest part, which are the hands. I just simply roll up a tiny little ball, then cut it in half for 2 equal parts. Now to round this out some more to get a cute little bean-like shape. Then it's just adding the tinier ball for the thumb. I always liked how Magolor's hands are just little floating mittens or boxing gloves. Then it's repeating the same process for the other hand, but with a closed fist. Using my awl to create an opening. This will be his sword-wielding hand. Almost forgot one important detail to Magolor. In this weakened and disheveled version of him, he has been depicted to be wearing a long scarf. In his original design, he was wearing a belt buckle. A weird minor detail for them to change, but still a nice look overall. Only thing now is to make the sword. This wooden skewer will make a nice handle. I marked the length of the handle and will cut this down some more, but I'm switching over now to making the blade with this popsicle stick. Once the general shape is drawn, then I can cut this out. A little sanding to refine all my edges. Here is my updated handle with the middle carved out. Now a little super glue to hold it all in place. Once it's dry, I can sculpt on the handle. Embellishing it with a little jewel in the middle. Now let's get to painting. Penciling in some guidelines for his finer details. This version of Magolor has a very simple color palette. It's just a whole lot of white and light gray, doing all the white areas first. I'll be slowly mixing in the black in small amounts till I get the right shade of gray. Always take your time when painting very precise small details. And now adding more gray to his other features. Now using a dark brown for his face. This color paint was quite light, so I had to paint on about 3 layers, finishing up his face by adding some bright yellow eyes. After painting the handle for the sword red, I'm going to prime everything else with white. This will help with the metallic colors I'm using to stand out much better. First with gold, then the silver. And a tiny bit of teal for the jewel. Time to put it all together with more super glue. These thin pieces of acrylic rods will help connect everything together. And with that, we can move on to the final look. I think I've definitely redeemed myself with this project. I wasn't in quite the right mindset the first time trying to make Magolor. I think it's important to take a break from something and take a step back, rather than forcing yourself to do something that you're just not really feeling at the time. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of my creations, definitely check out my other videos and playlists on my channel. Remember to like this video and consider subscribing for more art videos like this in the future. That's all I have for you today, and I will see you very soon in the next one.